Hi, Maya. Hi, Wally. How are you guys?
We're really good. We're good. We're good.
It's a Friday. You've got a movie coming out, and I got to tell you, The Good House is definitely a good movie.
Oh, thank you very much.
I did not read Anne Leary's novel, so I hit this with no preconceived notions or anything. I so thoroughly enjoyed watching this film. And not just with the performances. Sigourney is amazing. I love the fact we break the fourth wall and she's talking to us. But the cinematography, Andre's cinematography, is outstanding and delivers this wonderful visual tonal bandwidth that stays light and bright. And it really captures that whole East Coast vibe of a woman of Hildy Good's age, and then you bring in great costuming so that she's always wearing something that looks very Ann Taylor.
Yeah, yes.
It's so enjoyable to watch. And your tonal shift in that third act, where we've got Peter and Hildy in the basement, your cinematography at that point, we go dark, the lighting gets harsh, and we feel that shift, but you don't waste time in bringing us back to the hope and the upbeat and the positivity. And it's just so well plotted out, guys. I really love it.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so great. Yes, that lighting in the basement, it's such hangover lighting, you know.
Yeah, we all know that lighting, and that's when you don't turn on any lights. How do you even tackle a story like this? Because obviously you could go very, very, very dark, or you could keep it light and upbeat and positive, which you do on every level. So I really love this structuring and this visual design. This had to be a very conscious decision to make it so cinematic.
Yeah, I mean, we worked with Andre before, so that was we had a kind of a working language, and we definitely wanted to sell what's so wonderful about the place, and then get to also show, by selling the beauty of the place, we're also getting to do a sneaky way. It's a sneaky way of showing you that there's something also claustrophobic about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the sort of the oppressive nature sometimes of those. You live in a beautiful small little town, but then everyone knows each other, and everyone knows each other's secrets, and everyone's trying to keep their secrets, and so the town is kind of an extension of what's going on with Hildy, and sort of her presentation to the world that is, that is hiding some of the actual, the things that she's going through. So it was definitely a conscious decision in terms of, you start out in the movie and it just seems like this is this acerbic, funny realtor, doing her work and moving around her pretty town, and she knows everybody, and then kind of stripping away, like peeling back the layers and seeing what's really happening.
Well, and this is where you get very metaphoric with your production design, with this whole design of the film, because everything outside looks beautiful. But everything, it's also, all of these homes, they're not simple designs. There's a complexity to the design of homes built in the age that most of these homes were built. There's narrow corridors, there's lots of doors and windows, but the blinds are closed. You don't see people navigating in the houses. Other than being in Hildy's house, the only other house we really see is the one that the walls are ruined. Jake is written on the walls. And then it's breaking things down. We've got that great metaphor of Frank coming in and breaking it and covering things up, which is what everybody does. Everything's happy on the outside, but behind closed doors, it's a different story. So you really mirror that so beautifully metaphorically, and that's what helps make this so cinematic.
Thank you.
Somebody noticed.
All right, I want to know what kid you got to draw a crayon all over the walls.
That was, you know what? That was somebody in the art department. I don't remember who.
Was it Ian?
Yeah, maybe it was Ian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect
Yeah.
kid drawings on the refrigerator, on the walls. It was great. How challenging was it adapting the novel for the screen in terms of breaking it down with the dialogue and with the multiple little subtextual plots that we have happening?
Well, I think in the macro, Anne provided us with a tremendous roadmap and a great character, and that was really how we approach all of our projects. We approach our story via the character. So in that way, it was a real gift. But the you know, as you adapt, you have to always make choices. There's always a compression that happens, and that's where we had our biggest challenges, is to get the feeling without being able to elucidate every single scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just the things that you kind of, the choices you had to make about what you know, it's a big sprawling novel, and we're very much, you know, the movie is very much from Hildy's point of view, because she's in denial, and we're with her, and she's our unreliable narrator, and so a lot of the things, the outer things had to sort of be stripped away or just boiled down to preserve what we really wanted to do was tell the story of a woman in her 60s and her whole life. It was work, it was family, it was romance, not one thing. She has all these things going on, and that was what was really kind of compelling and exciting to us, because we don't see that often.
No,
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. We don't see that. And I mean, I'm in my mid-60s, so to see this, I could very easily relate to Hildy in the way she's juggling everything and the way she has compartmentalized her life.
Yeah.
But you very strongly give us early on in the first act when Rebecca calls and it's, Mom, I can't pay my rent. You know, we're struggling artists, and all of my friends, their parents give them money. And it's the song and dance that parents have heard for years. Of course, now we're at the point where a lot of parents will say, okay, fine, I'll send you money. But then I love your camera angles. The POV goes down to the desktop and we see final notice, final this, final the other. And it tells you so much about Hildy in that one moment, that she's still trying to put her kid, her semi-adult child, first over her own existence.
Yeah, and she's it's great. What I love about it is that Hildy's such a tough cookie.
Yeah.
But also a soft touch, you know? She has this tough exterior, but she's, you know, that is her identity. She takes care of everybody.
Yes.
And she's been doing that for a really long time. So anyway, I really relate to that.
I just thought little touches like that are so key here. And also, the dialogue is rapier, and Sigourney's delivery is everything. My two favorites, 3 drinks short of comfortable, and Thanksgiving is a lot to ask of a sober person.
Yeah.
And the way she delivers them is so rich and so nuanced and so self-deprecating at the same time. It's just delicious watching her really dive in. She embodies Hildy in this film.
Yeah, she was very in tune with the character, and it was very, you know, we had a moment where we were having a conversation about a song, and I said, but Hildy likes this song, and she said, no, she doesn't. I'm Hildy. And I said, oh, yeah, well, okay, that trumps my argument.
Yeah.
And you just brought up a very important element of the Good House, and that is the music and the needle drops. Wow! What'd you do? Spend 50% of the budget on licensing for the needle drops you've got?
No, we have a very, very good music supervisor that has helped us over almost all of our movies, and so between Randy Poster and Megan Courier, they really deliver for us every time. It's been incredible.
Well, they certainly delivered here, because you have some real gems in there, and they're songs that really, not only do they fit particular scenes and emotionality, but also Hildy's life and that of Frank's as well.
Yes. Yeah, that was a big important thing, that the songs that are of their, of their youth and that they grew up listening to, because they're still living in the same place that they lived in, that they've lived their whole lives,
Mm-hmm.
So the songs kind of reflect that, what would I say, rootedness, time and place.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. I listened to those songs too growing up. So you grab Sigourney, you get Kevin. Everybody loves seeing the two of them. This is only the third time we've seen them in a film together. Of course, Dave is still one of everybody's all-time favorite films. Here, they are just incredible. Incredible. Effortless. Both of them, they fall into these roles just like a comfortable pair of slippers and an old sweater. And then you surround them with people like Beverly D'Angelo and David Rasha and Paul Guilfoyle and Catherine Erb, who is a great character actress that I have enjoyed for years, Rob Delaney, and of course, younger ilk with Morena Baccarin. How did you amass this cast? Because it is truly an incredible cast.
I think that we also feel really grateful for the cast that we pulled together. But I think actors want to play people living lives. You know what I mean? And sadly, there's not as much opportunity for that in our current moment. I think, movies just made about people with struggles that we recognize, and I think that was very compelling to our cast. Don't you think?
It really starts with Sigourney and Kevin, who
Right.
are old pals, and just like us. Everyone was big fans of theirs, and everyone was very excited to be around them and see them really dig into a character and get to see up close what we all know. We all know they're special, but to see it up close was really very exciting for all of us.
And I think a lot of people have confronted some of the themes that are at play in the film, and so. Anyway, we're reflecting the human experience. That's, I think, why most of us have gone into this line of work, but we don't always get the chance to do it.
Of course, you give us one of the funniest sex scenes that I've seen on film in many a day.
I really lost it while we were shooting that scene. It was really funny.
Not only shooting that scene, but then how did you guys sit there with your editor, with Catherine Haight, and actually edit that scene? Because something tells me there's more there, and you might have had to make hard choices of, oh my God, I really don't want to cut this part out because it's so funny.
We actually, that one kind of played more theatrically, more as a kind of a piece. Kevin and Sigourney were so game to be there and really milk the scene for every last little bit, and they really delivered for us.
I know, we really didn't want to cut anything out of the scene.
Yeah, it's what I see on screen is I was laughing. I was roaring, sitting in my chair watching it. It was just hilarity. which is an important thing with this film, is finding your pacing, because we do keep things for the first half of the film. Things are really kept light. We've got things that are hidden, slowly things bubble to the surface with little reveals, but everything is light, it's bright, it's upbeat. Even Frank looking all disheveled, like he's never washed that hat on top of his head. But still, everything, it has a happiness to it, comfort and ease. But then we have to take that little darker step. So I'm wondering how much of a challenge it was for you and for Catherine in editing this to find the pacing, to take us where we needed to go with Hildy, and then bring us back.
Yeah, I mean, we were very much in sync, the three of us. We were always talking about pace. That's something that we're always have our eye on.
And tone.
And that was the trick of the movie. We knew that it was going to get darker, and we certainly that was something that you used to see in movies. Obviously we were looking all the way back in terms of endearment and thinking like, okay, there's a movie that very much is a template for us in terms of understanding how to handle these very different tones as you move through the film. So it was definitely on our minds, and that's just, a day-to-day experience of the scenes and building them and then stringing them together and then seeing the whole movie and understanding, how to smooth out that tone change.
I mean, also, I think the Hildy character kind of guides you, because it sort of, as she starts to confront more and more of her demons, I guess I'd say, that's, we fall, she's not there in the beginning. She's in denial. The movie's in denial in the beginning, and the movie is about denial, and we start off kind of in denial, right? It's like everything, things are not great for Hildy, but they're okay, and she's making it work, and she can have a drink. Come on, people, you're overreacting. She can have a drink. So it really follows her realization, her awakening, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I would be remiss not to ask you about the wonderful performance that you have from Silas Pereira-Olson as Jake. Wow. What a performance. Talk to me about working. You've got a few kids in here, but Silas really stands out with his role. What was that like, working with him to get what you needed to...
He was just a really thoughtful little fella. I mean, he's adorable, right? I mean, he's so adorable. But he really, you would tell him what you wanted him to do, and he really, you could see the wheels turning, and he did it. I mean, he just had a sort of natural quality, I think.
Yeah, he was a sweet kid. He cried the day he wrapped. It was sweet. He wanted to keep going.
It was great to work with him.
Yeah, I mean, he just had a kind of very, what's so fun about kids is that they have such a true actor's intuitiveness. There's no technique. It's really just play, and he could get right to that spot very quickly, which is very exciting.
And of course, you mentioned he was natural. Well, characters of Jake and Ben when they're on the beach, and Jake takes the dump truck. It's like, all right, all hell breaks loose. That's typical kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
It played so well. One last question before I let the two of you go. I'm curious, what did you each learn about yourselves as filmmakers, as storytellers, in bringing the Good House to life?
That's an interesting one. I guess for me, it solidifies this idea that drama and comedy go together, and I know it's maybe not currently in fashion, but it's something we really want to stick with, and I really believe in.
I guess I would say the same. I wish there was more of that. I wish there were more or terms of endearment. Think movies like that, that are, I don't know, we don't get to see them that often anymore. I'm very committed to trying to make more like that. But just that, I guess as filmmakers, what we learn, I mean, you really follow your character, you know, your main character, and you stick, and I think just the theme of denial, I think I read a Coppola quotation about how when in doubt, return to the main theme of your film.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that in one way, our film is really about denial. So it does ripple, it does inform everything, as you were saying, just even the visual design. So that's something useful.
Yes, or another important lesson is go try and work with two titans of American cinema. That really makes your job a lot easier. Yes, that is the biggest takeaway.
Oh my God. Guys, again, job so well done. I will be watching this film again. Totally enjoyed it. And I can't wait to see what you give us next.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.